Great topic today, how to keep your social media audience engaged. There's so much stuff to talk about here. I want to break this down, bro. There are so many avenues now in social media. There's obviously like posting, there's stories. I want to talk first about lives, like going live, because going live right now is
intimidating.
It's intimidating for sure because you're live, right?
Nerves.
Nerves, absolutely. And it's very hot right now. Like you see TikTok lives. Obviously we go live on Twitch too in front of that community. So we go live
all
often.
The time.
You're going live on Instagram, TikTok, even on Twitch we go live together. We're doing it multiple times. I want to start there. Like for people that are very nervous, maybe they want to teach or show some techniques, kind of do what you do. What are some tips that you can give them to keep the audience engaged on live?
Well, I mean, there's 3 factors that can really determine engagement. It's your monotone, right? The way you project your voice.
Right. If you mean not being monotone or the is that what you mean?
Yeah, so it's like your monotone. I'm trying to think of the word. It would be your voice projection, right? You don't want to be monotone. It's just a little bit too exactly.
That's monotone, correct.
So you don't want to be teaching like this, because that's like, well, first of all, I can't hear anything, and not only that, like you're not going to. It just sounds dead.
Right.
You have to be lively. You have to be able to express your words well. And I am also a true believer, like being vulgar, like it's not a great thing. There's a way of joking and throwing it in and using it, but it could be offensive, right?
Sure.
So like you have to be really, really careful about that because your audience is not just adults as well. There's a lot of children that listen to the stuff that you put out. So you have to be aware of that, because if you're trying to attract a large group of people, right, not just a select, then you just have to obviously, choose your words wisely.
So if like, what are some of the, I mean, for you, it's natural now. Like you don't even think about it when you go live. For somebody that wants to start going live, like what obviously you can practice, like you can get your phone, record, and do a session, right? I mean, what would you recommend?
So there's 3 variables, right? The way that you project your voice, and then also eye contact, right? So
looking at the camera, right? Which feels weird at first.
It does feel weird because you're staring at an inanimate object, right? So, but practicing that, like I'm doing right now with the camera, is just keeping your eyes directly on the camera as you're speaking, so that it looks like you're addressing the crowd that you're speaking to.
Yep.
And then also your body language. Like I have a tendency to use my hands a lot when I'm working, but this is my expressive way of being animated.
Right.
So I feel that I could express not just my personality through my voice and the way that I'm actually addressing people through good eye contact. I also do it with my body language as well. And look, again, like we were on Twitch this morning, and the way we act, we're always acting like 5-year-olds, but it's comedic, right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's funny. Like, and what we're trying to do is we are trying to entertain. And you know this as well as I do. Like if you want to be able to basically engage a crowd, if you want to be able to keep their attention, there's only really 2 things that you can do. You have to be able to educate or entertain.
That's it, man.
That's it. There's 2 things.
That's the key.
Educate, entertain. Everything else,
I mean, that is everything.
It is everything.
If So exactly what you said, bro. Like if you want to keep them engaged, you got to be educating. So somebody's like learning something,
Correct.
or they're laughing or crying or feeling inspired, or you're telling a story that that moves them. All those things fall under entertainment. So completely, bro.
So you and I have been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for 32 years. There was a point previous to iPhone that the only way that we'd be able to actually get the word out about the product was to do trade shows.
Totally.
Right. So we were very active of being in the public. And again, you're not going to be able to do that in a magazine, which we did a lot of.
Yes.
Right. The only way that we're going to be able to basically get the word out was we had to be in the public. And again, if you want to create attention, you have to be loud.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Right.
You have to also, you have to know what you're talking about. Like you can't just like spill a bunch of BS
Not going to work
and hope it sticks.
Yeah. Dude, people will find out, especially today on the internet. They're going to find you out.
Correct. They will find out whether you are a fraud or not.
Correct.
Right. So going back to practice, I think repetition is the key.
Yep.
If you're starting out and you're not confident, the only way that you're going to get confident is by putting the reps in. The more you get in front of a camera, the more it becomes natural. Like I'm sitting here talking to you again with a very, again, like normal conversation, not stressed, not nervous, because again,
that's what we do.
My brother is what we do, right? I look in front of the camera, I'm looking at you guys, I'm talking to you, like I'm addressing an audience. I'm used to speaking in front of a camera, but again, it wasn't overnight. It was practice, reps. I feel that I did have help in the beginning. And what I mean by that, I was forced to get on stage. I was forced to teach classes, a lot of classes.
Bro.
I mean, at one time we were teaching probably 40, 50 classes a year all over the country, anywhere from 30 to 100 students at a time, doing big events internationally, on-stage performances between 500 and 1,000 people, traveling around the world doing shows. So and in the beginning it was not like, peaches and cream.
Right.
Dude, it was nerve-wracking.
Of course.
It was intense and it was really, really hard. But with the experience that I had being in the public, I found it really easy to translate it to. I thought it actually was easier because it was like one lens.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like for me, I just see one thing and I'm talking, and I get the audience is vast and could be a lot bigger, but I don't see it that way. I don't have any nerves because I'm only talking in front of a camera. For those of you guys that are doing lives on Instagram and you're nervous and don't focus on the comments.
You cannot
look at the comments.
Yeah.
A lot of times when I'm teaching TikTok as well, I don't have time to look at the comments. I only have time to teach. If I was looking at the comments and I saw negativity coming through, it could rattle.
Yeah, of course.
It'll rattle you and it also sidetrack you as well.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys that are teaching and you might see, because dude, you'll have some kid come on and say something obnoxious or rude just to basically try to rattle you because they think it's funny.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, I get it.
I do too, bro. Like, if we were 16 in this age,
I mean, I'm sure there's like 13-year-olds that are getting on there.
Completely.
They're basically, trying to have fun.
Completely.
Don't look at the comments. Focus on your work. And a lot of times when I'm working and doing lives, I don't have the camera facing myself.
Right.
I have my camera set up so that, the video is shooting this way, but I could see the screen, and I have the mount system that I use so I can have the camera sitting in front of me. That way I can just focus on the work that I'm doing.
Right. Yeah.
It takes reps.
It does take reps. Like, I mean, 7-8 years ago when we started doing the vlogs, and like for 3 months, bro, I was like, I have to just on my iPhone, I was practicing video, talking to the camera, talking to the camera for hours every day. And then I'd watch it. And like, oh Jesus, and I was practicing editing at that time too, like how to edit, how to cut. But there's no other way. And then you just got to start and you just got to go. I mean, so many times, bro, it's like I see this too in the marketing class that we do. Everybody's like, well, I'm going to start posting and going live like next week. It's like, everybody says that. You just got to start doing it now. There's no way avoiding uncomfortable, weird, awkward situations on live, making content. It's going to happen, but there's no other way to get better at it. You just have to do it.
You just have to practice.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to practice is by actually doing it every single day.
Yeah, that's right.
So, if you're an educator or working on being an educator or a platform artist, the only way you're going to get comfortable is by putting yourself in that nervous position. Because, and don't get me wrong, I still do get nervous sometimes, but I'm able to handle nerves well because I've done it so many times.
Exactly.
Second nature to me, and it'll happen to you as well. The more you do, the easier it will get.
Yeah. And I think this goes for like every type of content, whether you're, going live, if you're creating posts, that whole keeping it either educational or somewhat entertaining some way, shape, or form is the key, because that is what you're giving value to somebody on the other side. So often, bro, we see this. We see either posts or people go live and they're doing it just to hear themselves talk. Like, oh my God, today is a neat day and it's so fun. And like, oh my God, look at this. This is my new, I love my like they're just talking about their product, their brand, everything they love and how awesome they are. And instead, what do? We're always like, we're going to show you how to get faster. We're going to show you how to get better. We're going to show you how to shave time, make more money, give you products that'll improve your business in the salon, or if you're an enthusiast, at home experience doing nails. It's always about the other person. And I think that's really huge, bro.
It's what we've always done.
It's what we've always done.
Always just focused on our consumers that consume our products and how they can make more money using them in the business environment that they're in.
Exactly.
Now, again, times have changed. We are in a time where there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers out there. They might take the content that we produce and use it for their own personal gratification. The pros out there that are learning from us, we're not consumed with, making ourselves look better based on the products that we have. It's all about trying to make them better and their pockets fatter by showing them how to use the products, right, and the services and the techniques so that they're making more money.
Yeah. I think if you are someone that wants to go live or make content that is engaging, the first place you have to start is this. You have to say, what can I do that's going to help somebody that watches this? Let's say you get one person. Let's say you go live and you get 1 to 2 people. What can I do that will actually help them or bring them real, actual value to that 1 or 2 person? Because if you do that, they're going to come back the next time. They're like, oh my God, that was really good. Like, Greg showed me like that tip on keeping my brush clean. That was so, I didn't even realize that. I would have left the acrylic in there and screwed up my brush, but that's a great tip. Boom. You're going to come back because you're not going to hear us, go, dude, look at me, dude. I'm awesome. I'm so cool. My product rocks, dude, rocks. Like, you're not going to get that, You're going to get actual real value. And I think that if somebody focuses on that, whether you go live, like you said, and you have to work on those things like you were talking about, like, you can always get better. Focus on your how you project your voice. Don't keep it monotone like this through the whole time. Like ups and downs, and bring a little energy. Practice looking into the camera. You get more confident that way. There's no way around it, you know? And then the big thing though is like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about stuff that's going to help the person on the other side?
Yeah. You know, I've seen a lot of, and again, there's a ton of new brands out there, and there's a lot of people build, and I'm not just talking nails alone. I'm talking about everything. You know, there's a lot of really great personalities out there that make their products shine.
Yeah.
And it does start with, it starts with you, right?
Completely.
You're the face. If you're the face of the brand, it speaks volumes. But again, the high energy, if you're well educated about the services or the products that you manufacture, it's not hard to talk about them because you love them so much, right?
It's got to be real. Yeah.
It has to be real. People will smell the BS.
Yep.
If you understand your products, if you're in love with your products, if you really understand how they work, then the only thing you have to do is speak from your heart.
Yep.
If you speak from your heart and then you share the knowledge that you're passionate about, educating them, and then again, with the love that you have, entertain them, there's the winning combination there.
That's it, bro.
It's all I've ever done.
I love that. That's such good advice right there. And, you know, consistency, don't stop just because on the first week you didn't get, 700 people viewing you. Like, bro, you got to be patient. It takes time, little by little by little.
Correct.
On top of it. Nice, bro.
Yeah. Well, thank you for.
You're welcome for everything in your life.
That's all I want.
That's it, bro. You're welcome for everything. I'm grateful to be your true idol, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Subscribe channel now. Subscribe